Long story short, hold on. The most painful terrorist deaths ever. Osama bin Laden?
Bakr al-Baghdadi.
Saddam Hussein?
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the founder of ISIS, lived in fear of being caught. People close to him said he almost always had
The founder of ISIS?
a side vest nearby.
Do you know what kind of VIP section in hell that nigga's in?
And sometimes even slept wearing one. He only traveled at
Wait,
night,
hold
wore
on.
disguises, side vest nearby, and in fear of being caught. People close to him said he almost always had a side vest nearby, and sometimes even slept wearing one. He only traveled at night, wore disguises, and kept a very small group of loyal guards. They avoided using phones so they could not be tracked. He often hid in the deserts of Syria and Iraq, crossing borders in secret by dressing up like a shepherd to avoid being recognized. However, by late 2019, his power was crumbling. Many of his closest men were dead, and intelligence just discovered he was hiding in northwest Syria. A raid was planned, but to reach the target, American units had to fly through airspace controlled by Russia and Turkey. This was one of the few instances where they all collaborated.
These niggas collaborated to get Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi out of here. The founder of ISIS, my nigga. Do you know what ISIS is?
In the night, helicopters carried U.S.
was
special
serious.
forces toward a small compound. They landed, and the assault began. Inside, Baghdadi tried to escape into a tunnel, but he had no way out. Military dogs chased him, and knowing he was trapped and seconds away from capture, he set off the suicide vest he was wearing. The blast killed him, and unfortunately, he had 2 children with him. Abu Nidal.
He took out the 2 kids and the dogs? Wait, what do you mean he had no way out though? So what, he made a one-way tunnel that goes and then has nothing, so you gotta go back out or some shit? Oh, it's like a hiding tunnel, like a hidden door, I guess.
One of the world's
You know El Chapo would have had a tunnel that connects to Las Vegas casino. Alright.
most feared Palestinian militants had one of the most controversial deaths, shrouded in conspiracy theories and different accounts. He was living quietly in Baghdad in the summer of 2002, and his network had carried out assassinations, hijackings, and bombings across the Middle East and Europe. However, by then, his power collapsed, and he was basically just hiding under Saddam Hussein's protection.
Saddam Hussein!
In August 2002, Iraqi
Saddam Hussein's my favorite, only because of South Park.
Intelligence officers came to his apartment to take him in. What happened next is still disputed. The official Iraqi version said that when officers arrived, Abu Nidal asked for a moment to change his clothes. He then went into his bedroom, and a gunshot followed. They gave journalists photographs of the body and a medical report, which said that he died in a hospital after about 8 hours. However, other accounts quickly surfaced. A Palestinian newspaper reported that he had actually died from multiple gunshot wounds. Palestinian sources believed that in reality, Saddam Hussein had ordered his killing, not just a simple arrest. A magazine offered yet another version. According to its report, Iraqi intelligence raided Abu Nidal's home after discovering secret documents about a possible U.S. attack on Iraq. A fight then broke out between his men and the Iraqi officers, and in the chaos, Abu Nidal was killed. This might have been because Saddam wanted him eliminated before any American invasion, fearing he might turn against the regime. Years later, another report claimed that Iraqi officers had been questioning him in his home as a suspected spy for Kuwait and Egypt, and indirectly for the United States. According to this account, the Kuwaitis had asked him to look for links between Iraq and Al-Qaeda. Ayman al-Zawahiri. For more than 2 decades, Ayman al-Zawahiri was one of the world's most wanted men. He was Osama bin Laden's deputy during the September 11
Deputy?
attacks and became leader of Al-Qaeda.
My nigga, Osama bin Laden did not do no damn 9/11.
After bin Laden's death in 2011. Several times reports claimed he had been killed in airstrikes in Pakistan or Afghanistan, but each time he reappeared in new videos, keeping the hunt alive. By early 2022 though, this stopped. U.S. intelligence discovered that Zawahiri had moved into a house in Kabul's Sherpur neighborhood, one of the richest parts of the city. Then, from
Wait, but why aren't they saying like why they're terrorists? Like, what just makes you a terrorist? You know, like besides the ISIS guy, and this guy, Osama bin Laden's what did he say, deputy?
months, American agencies kept track of his routines, and they noticed that he had the habit of stepping onto the balcony.
Oh my God, they trick shotted him.
Went all the way to the White House, where President Joe Biden debated for weeks before giving final approval. The decision was especially delicate because
This is George. Seems like he's casually.
They called Joe Biden. They say, yo, Joe, We got the drop on this guy every day at 7 o'clock. He's on the balcony. Do you want me to 360 no scope him? Joe Biden sat down and said, now let's see what happens.
In a crowded city, the risk of civilian casualties was high. The weapon chosen was unusual. The R-9X Hellfire missile, nicknamed the Flying Ginsu. Unlike standard missiles, it does not explode. Instead, it kills by direct impact and by releasing sharp metal blades designed to slice through the target without destroying the building or killing bystanders. At sunrise on July 31st, 2000.
We don't even got that shit in Call of Duty.
2022, a CIA drone fired 2 of these missiles at the balcony, while Ayman al-Zawahiri, then 71 years old, was standing outside. The missiles struck with precision, killing him instantly, and no one else in the house was harmed. His death ended one of the longest manhunts in history, and the...
Yo, you know what's so crazy? These guys could have killed him anyway. They could have caught they could have bamboo shot him in his neck. They could have sniper shot him with a silencer. They could have shot him regularly. They had so many options. They knew this nigga's patterns. He's on the balcony every day at this time. These niggas had a new drone missile that they wanted to test out so bad that they used it on the poor man. And they could have just,
Day after,
they're
President
bored.
Biden addressed the nation saying, "Justice has been delivered. This terrorist leader is no more."
Yeah,
For the
but what did
United
he do,
States,
though?
It was the biggest strike against Al-Qaeda since bin
Oh,
Laden's death.
Al-Qaeda.
Abu Musab al-Zarqawi. For years, Abu Musab al-Zarqawi was one of the most...
Yo, I'm not even trying to sound racist. He just sounds like he causes trouble. Like, that sounds like a fake name. Like I don't know no Muslim names. But like, hi, my name is Tyrondo McDavison. Like, that just sounds fake. So in Muslim terms and shit like that, like Abu
al-Zarqawi.
Mazu Gaza.
For years, Abu Musab al-Zarqawi was one of the most feared militants in the world. He was a Jordanian extremist, known for personally beheading hostages on video and organizing suicide bombings that destroyed markets, mosques, and even embassies. U.S. officials blamed
Isn't that a sin? Isn't that a sin where they're from, to destroy a church? They're destroying what? Yeah, see, I told you he's evil.
Thousands of deaths and put a $25 million reward on his head.
Damn, $25 million in their country? That's like $2 billion.
Making him one of the most wanted men alive.
Alive.
Even within Al-Qaeda, some leaders grew tired of his obsession with killing Shia Muslims, saying it hurt their cause. The hunt for him stretched across months.
Damn, he was so evil, even the evils was tired of his evil. How is evil tired of evil?
Until a captured member of his network gave up clues to the Jordanian authorities. They passed along the information to the U.S., which kept a close watch on a safe house near Bakuba in Iraq. When Zarqawi finally walked inside, the order was given to strike. 2 U.S. Air Force F-16 jets flew over the village and dropped 2 500-pound guided bombs on the building.
500 pound?
The blasts tore the house apart, killing most people inside
Bro, what kind of
instantly, but Zarqawi did not die right away. When American and Iraqi troops searched the rubble, they found him alive, badly wounded, but still conscious. Witnesses said he tried to move and even attempted to get off a stretcher before soldiers restrained him. Minutes later, though, he died. An autopsy showed a large chest wound and severe blast damage to his lungs. Doctors believed it may have taken him close to an hour to die, making it a pretty slow and painful end. That brief survival time sparked rumors. An Iraqi witness claimed U.S. soldiers beat him while he lay dying.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that 100%.
But the American military denied this.
Yeah, yeah. Let's not get into that. Well, of course we're gonna deny it.
Saying medics were trying to save him. Anwar al-Awlaki.
Anwar al-Awlaki. That sounds like a real name.
Born in the United States and later moving to Yemen, Anwar al-Awlaki became one of Al-Qaeda's most powerful figures. What made him most dangerous was his fluent English and his grasp of the internet.
Did you hear that? Like, I don't really think you guys understood the bar he just said. What made him so dangerous was his fluent English. If Indian scammers had fluent English, the whole world would be robbed. Let that sink in for a second. Let's just think about it. What is stopping Indian scammers from being billionaires right now? Hello, ma'am. Thank you very much. Not being racist, right? But let's be honest. If the Indian scammers had fluent English, hello there, ma'am. How are you doing today? Yes? How may I help you? Yes, my name is Tom. Hello there, ma'am. How are you doing today? Yes, my name is Tom. If they had fluent English, we'd all be wiped out. So let that bar sink in.
Born in the United States and later moving to Yemen, Anwar al-Awlaki became one of al-Qaeda's most powerful figures. What made him most dangerous was his fluent English and his grasp of the internet, which allowed him to reach Western audiences through propaganda in ways Osama bin Laden never could. He was linked to several major attacks, and by 2010,
the way the GOAT couldn't? Nah, why did he say like that? The way the GOAT couldn't?
his name was officially placed on the CIA's kill list. It was
on the kill list? Not even the most wanted list? Not even like capture list? Nigga said they put him on the hit list.
a historic and controversial decision because it
Wait, who's Bob? What did Bob do?
made him the first U.S. citizen ever approved for targeted killing. President Barack Obama personally authorized it.
Oh my God, Osama bin Obama?
Even as critics argued that killing
That man's a terrorist. How's Obama not on the hit list?
an American without a trial was illegal. For years, they tried tracking him down until they eventually found him and sent a drone to kill him. He was in a car, and the drone opened fire.
Drones are opening fire? Alright, bro. Alright, bro. I do not want to go to war. I do not want to go to war. I do not want to go to war. Niggas aren't even going to war no more. Back in my days, they send the hitters for you. They sending drones?
Kill.
This is the story of the one.
Nah, I'm not ready for war. I honestly don't even think the next war is gonna be a real war. I think it's gonna end in 2 strikes. Dum dum. And then they're all gonna send all their shit. Fuck it, press all the buttons. Whole Earth's gone. Like, what the fuck you mean drone? What?
Al-Awlaki himself survived. They also tried eliminating him through air raids in Yemen, but he survived those too. Then, on the morning of September 30th, 2011, his luck ran out. Witnesses said that he and his group had stopped to eat breakfast, and not long after, a U.S. drone spotted their—
Oh, the drone spawned back. Wait, the drones. Wait. Hold on. Wait, hold on.
Witnesses said that he and his group had stopped to eat breakfast, and not long after, a U.S. drone spotted their convoy. One of
The way he said it, I'm thinking like the drone is looking for his face only, and the drone's just outside looking like, where is this nigga at? And there's like nobody controlling the drone. He's like, yeah, I got his ass. And it's like, why aren't
the cars tried to escape, but it was too late. Hellfire missiles slammed into the vehicle, killing Al-Awlaki instantly. 2 weeks later, another U.S. drone strike killed his 16-year-old son, Abdul
What the fuck?
Rahman, who had traveled to Yemen to look for his father. Velupillai Prabhakaran.
What the fuck?
Velupillai Prabhakaran, founder of the Tamil Tigers, also known as LTTE, had—
Nah, bro. What was the reason for his son's death? I'm about to get mad now because America's just doing shit now. Like, this shit I'm talking about.
once
They just
controlled
do shit and
vast
blame
parts
people.
of northern Sri Lanka. For over 25 years, he waged war to create an independent Tamil
Fuck, he
homeland.
killed his kid
And
for
under
it.
his command, the Tigers pioneered the use of suicide bombers, assassinated prime ministers, and fought government forces in one of the longest insurgencies in Asia. By May 2009, though, the Sri Lankan army had cornered him and his last fighters on the banks of the Nandikadal Lagoon. Many were ordered to burn or destroy Prabhakaran's body if he died, to prevent it from being taken as a trophy by the enemy. At dawn on May 19th, Sri Lankan troops advanced through the mangroves. For 2 hours, they fought against Prabhakaran and roughly 30 of his bodyguards. By the end, every one of them was dead. Among them was a man wearing a dog tag marked 001. He carried 2 pistols, a rifle with a telescopic sight, a satellite phone, and medicine for diabetes. The colonel confirmed it was Velupillai Prabhakaran himself. His body was displayed on national television, and official reports said he had been struck by shrapnel during the battle. However, the exact cause of death soon became the subject of dispute. Some witnesses claimed he had been captured alive and executed at close range, pointing to a head wound visible on his
The evidence is there.
corpse. Others said he had killed himself rather than surrender, keeping his promise that he
Nah.
would die in honor rather than—
I don't think. I mean, it depends on where the head wound was, but I don't think that he's gonna do this. What's he gonna do this? You're trying to say or this? That where he put the head wound on this right here? It seems like it goes like right here, like, you know.
be caught alive by the enemy. What happened to his family added even more controversy. Reports circulated that the bodies of his wife and daughter had been found near the battlefield, though the army denied this. His 12-year-old son, Balachandran, was photographed alive in custody, sitting in a bunker.
In
but
custody for what?
minutes later, he was dead. This fueled accusations of execution and war crimes. Abbas al-Musawi. By early 1992, Abbas al-Musawi was Hezbollah's Secretary General. He was linked to kidnappings and killings, including the abduction of U.S. Marine and UN officer William R. Higgins and the disappearance of Israeli soldiers. Originally, Israeli intelligence prepared a kidnapping plan, codenamed Nighttime. The idea was to capture al-Musawi and use him in a prisoner exchange. However, when the chosen day came, he was surrounded by a large crowd, making an abduction impossible. Israel's military intelligence chief then recommended switching to a strike. Ehud Barak, chief of staff
Wait,
at the
what?
time.
So you weren't trying to swap him out then? What happened to the prisoner trade? You said, oh, we can't get him for the prisoner trade? Alright, fuck it, bomb him.
Pressed Defense Minister Moshe Aarons to approve it, saying Israel would not get another chance. Aarons hesitated, but finally gave the order, and missiles were cleared to fire. On the afternoon of February 16, 1992, al-Musawi was traveling in a 3-car convoy in southern Lebanon. He was with his wife, his 5-year-old son, and bodyguards. 2 Israeli Apache helicopters were waiting near the border, though the pilots had not been told exactly.
As Canada faces economic uncertainty, we have a...
Here we go, another lie. Let me guess. The pilots weren't told exactly what car he was in, right? So they said, fuck it, let's bomb out him, right? Let me guess, right? Yo, don't ever give me no long-ass ad like this again in your life. How the fuck do I know? And I'm not editing this. I know you'd hit this right here. I know you guys are one of those anime geeks. Yo, where's the skip button for, though? What the fuck? Wait, hold on.
Helicopters were waiting near the border, though the pilots had not been told exactly who the target was. When the cars came into view, the Apaches struck. Hellfire missiles hit the cars, completely obliterating them and leaving fire and wreckage across the road. A Hezbollah spokesman later said al-Musawi and his family were burned alive inside their car. Reports from the scene added that some people who tried to escape were cut down by automatic gunfire. At least 10 others in the convoy were wounded. Privately, some officers had warned that removing al-Musawi would not weaken Hezbollah, since the group was not built around one man. Their fears were that his replacement might be even more extreme. In response to al-Musawi's death, the Islamic Jihad organization bombed the Israeli embassy in Buenos Aires, killing 29 civilians. 2 years later, the group also carried out the AMIA bombing in the same city, killing 85 more.
You should have left that nigga alone. Just take away it.
Then, on some of the
then what?
Anniversaries of al-Musawi's death, Hezbollah made ambushes against Israeli forces in southern Lebanon. Abdel Malik Drukdel.
Oh, I swear to God, if they would have said a next bombing and 100 people, I would have ended the video.
Abdel Malik Drukdel was one of al-Qaeda's oldest surviving commanders, and the one who built al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, also known as AQM, into a powerful regional branch. Under his leadership,
Yo, I have a question. Like, do these guys sell drugs? Like, do they traffic? Do they sell H, F, W, M? What do they do? Besides, like, all I hear is kill.
Introduced suicide bombings to North Africa and ran a campaign of kidnappings for ransom that brought in tens of millions of dollars.
Okay, so they don't do no drugs. They just kidnap you and do ransom. Fast cash, I guess. Like, why get caught smuggling when you could just take somebody, I guess?
His group bombed the Algerian Prime Minister's office in 2007, attacked hotels in Mali, and spread operations across Mauritania, Niger, Libya, and Tunisia. For years, he avoided capture. He hid in Algeria's mountains and survived repeated attempts on his life. But by the late 2010s, his influence had started to fade. AQM's stronghold in Algeria weakened. New ISIS-linked groups were rising, and many of the most active jihadist factions no longer answered to him. French special forces had been tracking him for months, and on June 3rd, 2020, they finally moved in. Drukdel and...
I don't get it. He's no longer the big dog, but they're still after him. Like, I get it. Like, I get that they're still after him for his crimes, but, like, He's not the big dog no more.
And 5 other men were in a white SUV when they stopped by a cluster of rocks and set up a temporary campsite near a riverbed. French troops, supported by U.S. intelligence, closed in on them. The jihadists at first tried to flee, scattering in different directions and taking cover among rocks, but then they attempted to counterattack, firing at the French forces. One by one, the AQIM fighters were killed, and then a bullet hit Drukdel himself, killing him. The SUV driver surrendered and was taken into custody.
And then died.
Carlos Castaño.
Oh, who's at the end? The goat?
Began as a teenager after guerrillas killed his father. Seeking revenge, he joined the fight and eventually became co-founder of the Autodefensas Unidas de Colombia, or AUC, Colombia's most powerful paramilitary organization. Under his command, the group carried out massacres, trafficked cocaine, and built ties with politicians. For years, he was one of the country's most feared commanders. By the
at least they're expanding.
early 2000s, though, he had become a problem for his own allies. He started speaking
what is he on? Cocaine?
openly about the AUC's connections and drug trafficking business. In one interview on television, he admitted that 70% of the group's money came from cocaine. On the morning of April 6th,
you can tell you're on that.
Welcome to Luxury
You're on
Casino,
that.
one of Ontario.
You're on that Conor McGregor. You're on that Irish whiskey.
Win rate guaranteed.
16th, 2004, in what seemed like a normal day, Castaño was suddenly gunned down. At first, the AUC claimed it had been an accident, a sudden
Oh my God, it was an accident. We didn't know that was the billionaire cartel member. We just shot him by accident.
shootout between his bodyguards and another armed unit. However, that story collapsed quickly, as reports from inside the organization said he had not died in crossfire at all. Instead, rival paramilitaries had captured him, tortured him, executed him, and secretly buried him. The orders, it was said, came from his own brother Vicente and from Diego Murillo, known as Don Berna, one of the AUC's top commanders. Investigators searched the area where he had disappeared and found a makeshift grave, but the body inside was not his. Rumors spread wildly, with
Damn, they're just finding graves?
saying he had been flown out of Colombia or that he was living in Syria or Egypt. For 2 years, nobody knew for certain if he was dead, and conspiracy theories spread. The mystery ended more than 2 years later. Acting on information from Jesus Roldan, a former guerrilla who had joined the paramilitaries, authorities uncovered a shallow grave. Inside were bones that DNA tests confirmed belonged to Carlos.
That's cap. Is either I'm mistaken or that's cap. I swear the only way to identify somebody at that point of decomposition is their fucking teeth. Bones, I don't know about that.
Castaño. Witnesses said
I don't know about that.
His body
I never
had been
heard that
dismembered
before.
and partly burned before
Don't get me
burial,
wrong.
which was an attempt
It doesn't sound
to erase.
it doesn't sound crazy. I'm trying to say it doesn't sound far. Kobe.
For nearly a decade after the September 11th attacks,
That he didn't
Osama
do.
bin Laden was the world's most wanted man. To avoid detection, he kept his circle small, avoided phones and the internet, and hid with a local family in Abbottabad, Pakistan. His hiding place shocked the world when it was revealed. It was near Pakistan's main military academy. Keep in mind that officially, Pakistan was a U.S. ally in the war on terror. President Barack Obama gave the green light for a mission to capture or kill him. The operation was codenamed Neptune Spear and was directed by the CIA, with U.S. Navy SEAL Team 6 carrying out the assault. Just after 1 a.m.
What did they really want? What did they really want to do after 9/11? Why did they really want to go over there? Like did they want to go over there, but didn't have a reason to, so they made a reason to? I don't even know. Was it 2 or was it 3 buildings that dropped? It's been a while. I think I was wait, what year was this? 2000, right?
May 2nd,
No, it's 01 that this happened.
Helicopters
Yeah, I was 1 year
SEALs
old. I was
lifted
watching
from
SpongeBob.
Afghanistan and descended.
What happened again? Was it 2 buildings that dropped or was it 3? I think 2 dropped, and then the third one mysteriously dropped and we forgot about it. I think that was building 7.
On bin Laden's compound. They stormed inside the 3-story house, moving quickly from room to room. On the upper floor, bin Laden was finally cornered. One SEAL later recalled that bin Laden leaned out of a bedroom doorway. A teammate fired 2 silenced rounds into the side of his head from about 10 feet away. When the SEALs rushed in, his body was still twitching, so 2 operators fired multiple shots into his chest to make sure he was dead. Another SEAL, Robert J. O'Neill, was later named in the press as the man who fired the fatal shots, though others disputed it, saying bin Laden may already have been dying before O'Neill fired. The SEALs gathered what they could and left the compound that same night. Early reports said his body was flown to Afghanistan for identification before being buried at sea.
Like what? So you're just killing people to kill people?